Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So in today's video I'm going to show you how we can draw sweet peas. This is very simple tutorial wherein I'm going to use pencil and these needle pen to draw. So let's draw the basic guideline with the help of pencil first. And as we are creating the whole composition, so we need flower birds, flowers, leaves and everything. So for the flower bird you can create a triangle kind of structure like this to start with, and a round kind of shape at the base of the triangle. Keep the length of the triangle like this, wherein one side is little longer than the other, and one small stem. This is the basic structure of the flower bird that you can create. And flowers are very simple. I think this one is the easiest flower to draw. You can create two round kind of shape left and right, and few smaller petals at the back side of the flower. So you can keep these backside petals in any direction, and multiple perspective of the flowers you can create. I have already created a separate video around perspective of sweet pea flowers, so you can refer to that. I can give you a link into my description section. Another thing you can do is creating the folds. Folds means creating a little triangle kind of pattern or curve patterns around the petal area, which gives you a very nice effect of folded pattern into it. So these are the flowers that you can create. So let's start with the composition. So for the whole composition, let's start with the middle string. So I'm creating this middle string tilted towards the left side. You can keep it right side as well, and basically the composition is totally up to you. So I'm keeping this middle string, and then at the tip of the middle string I'm creating this flower bird. Again a triangle kind of pattern, little rounded, not very spiky triangle. And at the base you can create sepals. Sepals are the green structure which you usually see at the base of the flower. So obviously in the flower birds we can see that green structure. And likewise I have created multiple flower birds at the tip of the string. So I'm creating these flower birds in different angle and direction. So that is something important, because this is the whole composition wherein we need different perspective of flower birds and flowers. So I have created these 4 flower birds for now. Now I can keep one flower here. So again I'm keeping the flower shape very simple, 2 bigger petals left and right, and one at the back side of the bigger petals. So these are the backside petals which we are seeing only half. Now you can also add folded pattern, and you can keep the perspective little different from each other. So in this one I'm keeping perspective in such a way wherein we can see the base of the flower as well, which are sepals. And I'm creating almost similar kind of flower but very different from each other. As you can see, some overlapping between stems and flowers also you can do. And you can keep these petals little bigger, little smaller, having folded pattern into it. So something like this you can create. I have covered multiple flower videos in the past, but I think this one is the simplest one to draw. And one more flower bird is also fine. So think about all these composition. You can keep multiple flower birds, multiple flowers, multiple stems and leaves. So those things is totally up to you. Now I'm creating leaves. Again, leaves perspective is also important. So one I have kept tilted towards downward, and one I have kept little straight towards left side. Now I can add one more string this side having leaf in it, and then some vines which we usually see in the flower pea in rounded pattern. So spiral kind of structure you can create here and there to complete this particular composition. Now as far as composition is concerned, we are almost done with the flowers, flower birds and everything. As a basic guideline we have created this. Now I'm going to trace everything with the help of pen. So when you trace it, make sure you're doing it very right, because we cannot correct after that. So I'm tracing everything quickly. I'm using needle pen. You can use normal ball pen as well to start with. It is not necessary to use all these fancy pen. But if you are using these needle pen, it has different size in it. So I'm using 008 mm for tracing everything, and then I'm going to do some extra shading and detailing with the help of fine pen. So I'm going to use 0.1 mm for fine detailing. Now take all your time to trace everything, and once you're done with the tracing, we are going to do some hatching process to beautify this particular flower. I have created multiple videos around sweet pea flower painting, having different techniques in it, so I can give you a link into my description section. You can have a look into those videos also. In the past, I have covered 4 different ways to paint sweet pea flowers, and in the next video I'm going to show you one more, which is the simplest one among 5 ways to paint it as per my perspective. So please have a look into my next video as well if you can. And we are done with the tracing part, so let me rub all the unwanted pencil mark, which is important, and you can do it freely because we have already traced everything. Now you can see the clear picture of flowers and everything. Now we need to beautify this with some sketching process. So I am going to do some cross contouring or cross hatching around the folded pattern of the flower. So cross hatching means creating parallel lines close to each other and then cross those lines. The more closer your lines are, the greater shades you will get. So keep that thing in mind. And we need little different shades around the folded pattern that we have, so that's why we are doing some cross hatching process around that particular area. So it's very simple. You can do some lines and then cross those lines. That's it. That is all about cross hatching process. So let me quickly do it for all the folded pattern that we have around all my flowers. Now for the leaves also you can do similar kind of stuff. So I'm doing these lines only at one side of the leaf. You can do both the side, depend on what kind of shading you need, but I don't want to complicate it, and I also need little blank spaces as well, so that's why I'm doing this hatching process or contouring process around only one side of the leaf. Now at the base of the flower, which is sepals, I want some dark shade, so I'm doing some extra shading around that particular area. So you can do it for all the sepals that we can see for the flower buds and flowers both. You can do some extra shading around the petal area. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm just trying to add some curves line around my petals based on what kind of petal shape I have. So do not add straight line. Try to bend your lines as per flower perspective or petal perspective that you have. I want to keep the base of the flower little darker, so I have started doing these lines from inside to outside, keeping the middle section of the flower little darker as compared to the whole petal area. But these things are totally depend on you, what kind of shading and detailing you need. You can do all these things as per your choice. So repeat the same thing for all the flowers that you have. Now for the flower bud also I'm going to do some extra shading. So this time I'm keeping the edges little darker, so I'm adding these lines from outside to inside, and you can do it like this, like adding multiple sections of lines so that we can get some texture around our flower buds as well. And basically I'm repeating the same thing throughout my flower bud. You can do some cross hatching, you can do some hatching process around flowers and flower buds to get some extra dark shade around your structure. But these things, again, I'm repeating the same thing. It's totally depend on you how much shading you need around your flowers. So we're done with the drawing part, and I think it's very simple to draw. You just need a little practice around these flowers. Now last thing you can do is you can add some watercolor to paint it. This technique is called line and wash technique, wherein we draw everything and then we just put some color around our structure. So this one is the simplest one to paint. So we are done with the drawing. I'm just putting some extra color around my flower area, leaf and stem. I don't want to do it for all the flowers that we have. I just wanted to show you what you can do. So I'm keeping only one flower, bird, one flower and few leaves with the colors. Again, this is optional. This is not something important to do, but you can do something like this as well. This is the simplest one to paint any flower, not only this one. So we are done with today's video. Hope you have liked this video. This video is helpful for you guys. Please do let me know if you have any kind of feedback for me. And thank you so much for all your love and support and always watching my videos. See you guys in the next video.